YouTube, Jerby from Oz here. So as you may or may not be aware, the toolmaking competition for 2018 is now announced. So one of the conditions of entry for the toolmaking competition this year is that it needs to be made from a single piece of stock. Why, you might ask, am I looking at the clapper box off the Zocca? Well, the reason being that this is the only tooling that we currently have for the Zocca, which essentially is useful for cutting keyways, but only in a bore that's around too big, lots of size, 36 millimeters. So for any of the gears that we've had to cut, most of the stuff's like, 20 mils, 15 mils, 30 mils, that sort of size. And it means that we can't really cut keyways on that shaper. One of the reasons why Bruce has allowed us to store this at his place is because he needs to be able to do some keyways and stuff as he goes. So one of the projects, not for my entry, but alongside my entry, will be to actually make a replacement clapper plate along these kind of lines. So one of the ideas that we're looking at is a replacement for this piece of the clapper box, sized accordingly, same width, pinned accordingly, is a nose something like this arrangement here. And the reason for that is the 1.5 inch diameter bore is well suited to the other tooling that Bruce has on hand for his Kearns horizontal boring mill. That lovely beast sitting right there. And there's plenty of array of tooling that he's already got and uses on that machine. So rather than reinventing the wheel, we figured to make an adapter plate that allows us to position according tools into a nose plate, either with an adapter sleeve like so, to take a 1 inch bar into a 1.5 inch hole, or to take the 1.5 inch bars that he's already got, which of course makes very much sense. And of course then you just replace the tool as you need it, and with something like that we'll be able to do a keyway in quite a small size hole. It's at about 8 mils or something. No, column you wrong, about 12 mils. And some of the other options a little bit larger as required, but also retain the same tooling for the Kearns. So that's not the tool that we're making for this competition. Instead, the goal is to be able to take some A-bomb size cuts. So this little sketch I've worked up here is for a lantern style tool post holder for the Zocca. Essentially, if we take what we see here, and the bar sitting through the face, instead of having this piece, we'll instead have a standard lantern style opening. We figure about a 19mm tool, possibly an inch wide tool, but 19 is about 3/4. So to make it work, we're looking at the profile thickness. There we go, profile thickness of the clapper plate, a washer, the radius down below the pressure point of the tool so that we don't have to do any other cleanup on that hole, and a bolt coming in the nose of the lantern. So typical of your lantern style tool post you might see in your older style lathes. And that's the plan. So we've got a 57mm diameter at the base. The wear ring on the clapper plate here is at 65 mils. However, the piece of stock that I found is a 60mm piece of stock. So I'm going to make a slight adjustment. I'm going to make this a 60mm washer so that I can essentially start off, cut the washer out, trepan a groove, pull that piece off, and that washer will be trepanned out of the nose section of the lantern. I can then cut the radius in, clean it up, machine it down, the step for the back face where that's going to be held on the lathe, drill and tap the end, and then take it off to the mill to slot. And then the final piece will be making up a bolt. Now, tempting would be to, meet the rules by the nail and make the bolt out of this stock as well. But Dad does have some other uses for this. He's got some gears he wants to make up using this as blank stock. So I'll have a quick chat to Emma and see if making a bolt is the same as supplying a bolt, and if I can use another piece of material to make the bolt up. Either way, we'll have a bolt that locks in the nose, clamps up the tool against the washer, situated in, clamped up in that plate, and then we'll be able to start taking some A-bomb size cuts on the Zocca. And that's today's update. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time.